Assalamu alaikum class, good morning. How are you all? As you know that we have entered in the third term, so let us talk about the third term syllabus first. It includes Karate Parrot, Loveliest of Trees, The Cherry Now, Boom, The Black Spot, Break, 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 Boom. My Side of the Mountain, The King Keeps His Appointment. What you have to do is, you will first make a title page of the third term. Make sure that the index must be there in your copies. If you are having a place in your previous index, then it is okay. But if it is complete, then you are going to make it again just after the heading of third term. Then you are going to write the syllabus of third term. You are not supposed to write it as it is laid, but only write the chapter's name. Let us now enter to the first chapter, the Karate Parrot, Unit 9, page 96. Difficult words are attentively, carefully, and with concentration. Automatically, operated by a machine without human help. Crockery, plates, cups, saucer, each and everything includes in your crockery the kitchen items. The dishes. Crutch, a staff with a hand grip and a rest for the forearm or armpit, used to help somebody who is lame or injured to walk, which you call in Urdu bisaki. Demonstrate, to explain or describe how something works or how to do something. Espresso, dark, strong tasting coffee made by passing steam or water through coffee granules. Heaved, lifted, hold. Incredible, unbelievable, hard to believe. Karate, a Japanese form of unarmed combat. Plaster, a white powder calcium sulfate mixed with water to form a hard paste used to cast around broken limbs. Unique, only one of its kind, individual. Means unique is a thing which is the only one, which is not be able to find anywhere else. While, evil, shame, unpleasant. Let us start the chapter now. Samir shuffled across the pavement on his crutches and approached Moby's cafe on Regent Street. The door swung open automatically as he reached the entrance, and Samir made his way slowly into the large room. Adil and Babar were sitting in their usual seats by the window overlooking the street. They had seen Samir make his way unsteadily across the pavement, so they rose to welcome him when he entered the cafe. What happened? See, Samir is a man you can see in the picture who's having a plaster in his left hand, sitting with his friends. He entered into the cafe, Moby's cafe. Its door was automatically open. There were two friends of him was sitting there. When he saw them, they come near to him and welcome him to sit beside them. Goodness me! Exclaimed Babar, and Samir approached their table. What on earth have you been up to? Samir heaved himself up to an empty chair and let the crutches fall to the floor. They started to ask Samir that what had happened to your foot. What have you been doing? You will never believe what happened to me, sighed Samir as he sank with relief into the chair. It's a long story, so you had better order me an espresso first. Before telling the story, he was asking his friends to order a espresso for him. We were wondering where you had got to, said Babar. We thought you had found some other cafe to go to, added Adil. A waiter was summoned and Samir's coffee was ordered. Well, tell us then, exclaimed Babar. Yes, what is this incredible story you have to tell us? Asked Adil. You won't believe it, said Samir, but it is all perfectly true. The waiter arrived with a steaming cup of espresso. and placed it on the table in front of Samir. He looked curiously at Samir's foot, which was in a plaster. When the waiter had gone, Samir helped himself to sugar and stirred the coffee. He gazed out of the window at the people passing by outside. Come on, urged Adil. What happened? Samir took a sip of coffee, wiped his mouth, and smiled. Well, he began on Wednesday. I was fine, but on Thursday I ended up with this broken foot. Samir stuck out his foot for his friends to get a good look. It all started when my wife decided to get a pet, continued Samir. And then he settled comfortably into his chair to tell them his story. You see, guys, what happened? Three of them were sitting, and Samir was starting to tell his story with a cup of coffee. His friends were again and again asking him that what had happened, tell us, what had happened, tell us. He wanted to tell the story after being so calm. So he took a sip of his coffee, then he started the story. As you know, Sarah has always wanted a pet. She has begged me for months to get a dog or a cat to keep her company. But the problem is, we live in a flat. I have always felt it is not fair on a dog or a cat to be imprisoned in a flat on the sixth floor of an apartment building. Dogs need open spaces and cats need to come and go as they please. A flat is certainly not a suitable place for them, in my opinion. The story has begun. The theme was the pet. Samir's wife wanted the pet for her, whether it is a dog, it is a cat. But Samir could not get angry for a dog for a pet as they were living in a small flat. And in his thought, which is a true that keeping a pet in a house in a small flat is not good because these are the pets they wanted to live in a free place. What happened then? Well, Sarah agreed with me in the end, but last week she went along to the pet shop on the corner of GT Road and Flowers Street. You know, the place beside the milk depot. Her wife got angry for not buying a dog or a cat, but she still wants some pet, so she went to the pet shop, which was at the place they are saying, beside the milk depot. She decided that if she could not have a dog or a cat, she was going to see what else they had in the shop. She felt she had to have some sort of pet around. She feels a little lonely, especially when I'm in here. Most of the time with you too. On Thursday, I went into the city to the bank. I had some business there, so I decided to finish my errands at the bank and do some shopping. I needed cells for my radio and one or two other things, and then get home by the evening. What happened then? His wife decided not to get a dog or a pet, but she still wants some other pet. As she was lonely, her husband got out for the work and she was lonely at home. She wants something with her to get in touch with, to spend time with it. So on Thursday, the Samir was explaining his about his work, that he had to go to the bank and do some shopping, etc. What Sarah did at that time, let's see. Sarah, on the other hand, did not tell me what her plans were. I found out later that she ended up in a strange little pet shop. She walked into the shop. It was the first time she had been there and met a pleasant shop assistant. Sarah explained her problem to the young man. He listened attentively and suggested she might like to buy a parrot. Parrot? Said Sarah in astonishment. What comfort can I get from a parrot? I cannot stroke it or play with it. I cannot cuddle it. See, Sarah went to the pet shop. She got to met the assistant boy. She had explained all her problem to him, and he suggested her to buy a parrot. But she was amazed at how would she able to get in touch with the parrot, how would she able to get him in her hand, how would she able to get cuddle it, etc. The young man spoke up immediately. Madam, I am not talking about any kind of ordinary parrot, he explained. The parrot I have in mind will give you hours of amusement. The parrot I have for sale is unique. It is the only karate parrot in the country. See, did you ever heard about the karate parrot? Can a parrot can do a karate? But we are studying that in this chapter we are known with the new parrot who does karate. As the assistant is saying that it is the unique one in the country. My wife was very amused, but she was curious as well. She had never ever heard of a karate parrot. Not many people have. What does it do? She asked. Karate, explained the assistant. He was obviously not a man of many words. Anyway, the assistant said he would demonstrate what the parrot could do. He placed an old chair in the space in the middle of the shop. Then he brought the caged parrot to my wife and placed the cage on the service counter. He opened the door of the cage and the parrot ambled out. The man stretched out his arm and the parrot climbed onto his sleeve. He then said in the loud voice, Parrot, karate chair. The parrot immediately flew into the air and began to attack the chair. It squawked and fluttered up and down, flapping its wings with great vigor. See what had happened? The parrot, in reality, does a karate. How? The man opened the door of the cage. It went out. The man asked him. The man said the word parrot, karate, chair. The parrot flew on the air and does a karate and broken the chair into two pieces. In a matter of seconds, the chair had been reduced to a pile of shattered pieces of wood. Its work done, the parrot flew back across the shop and swooped down onto the assistant's shoulder. He stood there looking very pleased with himself. My wife, on the other hand, stood with her mouth open. She was lost for words. Never in all her years had she seen such a sight. Done, she exclaimed. She paid the man and took the bird home. Needless to say, she was quite excited by her new purchase as soon as she got home. She searched through all the cupboards in the house and took from them old boxes, crockery, and any other useless but stored items she could find.